YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Hey, y'all. It has sort of come to my attention that it has been a while since I have done a dating dilemmas video. And I have like a ton of updates to give y'all, as well as a question to pose. So I don't really have a ton of updates to give y'all. Let me just get you up to speed real quick. The Marco issue. Dead in the water. I mean dead in the water. Muerte. Like gone. Simply on the strength of the fact that there were too many problems. I mean, I really don't want to sound shallow, but it's just, I can appreciate somebody who's fallen on hard times. And I feel like right now, his best bet is to get himself up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Before he even considers the possibility of establishing something with somebody else. So, yeah. I mean, we're friends. Don't get me wrong. We're friends. I'm really good at that friend thing, but it's not going to happen right now. The person I had told y'all about from my past, we had a really honest conversation. We had a really open, dialogue, and not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. Which is really actually okay. It's very okay, because that's somebody. That's one of those roots. That's a lifer. I know that they will always be, you know what I'm saying, in my corner. So I can't, cry over that which was not meant to be at all. But I do have a question for y'all. And I'm really, really interested in hearing your input. I've kind of set up this informal poll where I've been asking sort of people in my immediate circle what they thought about it. And I've gotten very varied answers. And I'm probably going to get some varied answers here because I think there's a whole generational divide with regard to this particular issue in question at hand. Ugh, y'all, I'm getting my hair done on Monday, I promise. But, yeah, so here's the thing. I guess the term would be dating someone. I am talking to somebody who is more than a passing interest at the moment. And it's good. It's really good, actually. I am trying to keep a healthy level of perspective because your girl is known for putting the cart before the horse. And I'm trying not to do that here. I'm really, really trying to just, kind of take it one day at a time and one great conversation, one kind gesture, just one thing at a time and not get too overwhelmed. Because I've always been kind of that girl who, you know what I mean? Somebody smiles and says a nice word to me and I'm like picking out a China pattern in my head. But, I am attempting to keep an even keel with regard to this particular situation. I guess I'm going to have to come up with a name for him, ain't I? I am going to call him Julio. Julio will work. So just keep that in the back of your head. You know what I mean? Actually, I'm going to call him Javier. Javier. Because that was always one of my favorite guy names. Yeah, Javier. So bear that in mind because I'm sure that he will come up again at some point. But he and I were having a conversation. Because we're still in that, kind of getting to know you, sort of let's figure out your intricacies and idiosyncratic behavior kind of phase. You know what I mean? It's like that fact-finding mission that we all have to go on when there's a new significant other or potential significant other involved. We all do this recon work. Excuse me. I hope I'm not getting a cold. I really don't need one. But yeah, so we was having this conversation. And I asked him, sort of how he operates within the, status of being in a relationship. Is he the type that sort of broadcasts his newfound partner, or is he the type that kind of keeps it on the low, doesn't want folks in his business, or whatever the case may be, or just is more subdued with regard to his relationship, like the Beyonce and Jay-Z thing. You know what I'm saying? I can neither confirm nor deny the state of our relationship, and then they got married. And then little Blue Ivy was born. I am so digressing here. But yeah, so I wanted to know sort of like what his position was on, you know, how evocative, how, there's got to be a better word for it than that. Jesus Lord. How exuberant, how public he would be willing to go if he was in a relationship with regard to the state of his relationship. You know what I'm saying? There are folks that want to scream from the mountaintops, I am now dating, and then there are those who just kind of want to keep it sort of on a certain level. And he said that he really doesn't like people in his business. He really, he generally tends to be a little bit more reclusive, subdued, you know what I mean? He's a little bit quieter about it, you know what I mean? And so I took his answer for what it was. And I mean, with regard to how I am in a relationship, it's been a while since I've been in a relationship. I can't really tell you how I am, to be honest. I mean, I don't think I would hide it, but I don't think I'd necessarily scream it either. I'm not one of those people that just needs that kind of validation from the outside world. But the point of all this is, it only took me 6 minutes plus to get to this point, but the point of all this is, it kind of brought up an interesting conundrum in my mind that I would love to bring to y'all's attention. So here goes. We are living in the information age. We are living in a time where our lives, should we so choose, can be made more public than ever before. Gone are the days when, in order to find out about the state of somebody's relationship, you would have to either call your selected group of friends and tell them, or they might see you out together somewhere. Now, relatively perfect strangers can find out whether you're hooked up or not, or linked up or not, simply by looking at any number of a myriad of social networking sites. And what I was thinking about specifically was Facebook. I don't really know a soul at this point who is not on Facebook. Facebook has, by popular opinion, become the new MySpace. Facebook is the great equalizer. You know what I mean? There are kids in developing countries right now who are still on Facebook. And so it's remarkably easy to find out sort of like interesting little tidbits about people's lives. And of course, their love lives are included in that. So the question is this. When you are, and this is to my single gals and guys out there, when you are embarking upon a new relationship, if you are on Facebook, and you most likely are, and your prospective partner is on Facebook, and they most likely are, do you expect people's relationship status to change online? And does that somehow validate the veracity of your relationship? As in, and I can just use I can't use myself as an example, but we'll just say me. Say that I don't have myself listed as anything, not single, not engaged or divorced or widowed or whatever the case is. My Facebook status right now says widowed because of Tony. But say I had nothing on there. And me and little Bobby Joe have decided that we are now going to be a couple. So, am I expected to change my status from nothing, from a blank slate, to in a relationship with Bobby Joe? And I can really argue both sides of this point, because on the one hand, I can see where it would make me feel good to be able to log on to my Facebook and be able to see that, my partner and I are listed, and that would, automatically bring up my partner's name, which would automatically make me think of my partner, which might, perk me up a little bit on a down day or just on any given day. You know what I mean? When you care about somebody on that level, you tend to think about them as often as you can anyway. And so it would just be sort of like one more thing to say, yeah, we really are together. On the other hand, if you are somebody who has, a significant number of friends on your friends list, friends in quotations, or at least people on your friends list, if you're, part of the Facebook fan base kind of thing, Is it necessary to have relative strangers know that you are involved with this person? And can it create problems down the line between you and this person if, if somebody looks over and sees I'm in a relationship with Bobby Joe, and then they look at Bobby Joe and damn, he's cute. And so they try to get at him on the low and I don't know about it and I feel so betrayed and all that. Like, can it create those kind of problems? Does it create those kinds of problems? Has it created those kinds of problems for you? This is the question at hand, people. Social networking sites, how much information is too much? And if you have somebody who, say that I was just really gung-ho about, wanting to put all my business out on Facebook and be in this relationship on Facebook with this person and have that be broadcast so that everybody would know that I am no longer on the market. And my little Bobby Joe, my good boyfriend Bobby Joe over here, doesn't feel comfortable doing that. Doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want folks in his business like that. Is it then a point of contention between me and Bobby Joe? Is it potentially a deal breaker between me and Bobby Joe? Would it set in motion the wheels of, oh, y'all, I will be right back. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. My house father called and completely jacked up my train of thought. Hi, Harold. Hi, Angela. But yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much the dilemma at hand here. You know what I mean? And like, as I was saying, if I wanted to publicize my romance and my partner did not, is that potentially a deal breaker? Would that make you feel some type of way? As in, I can easily see how somebody might feel, well, what is he doing on the side then if he's not willing to do this for me? But then I could also see how maybe I'm just being insecure about it and, maybe he's just a introspective man and he's not really into, broadcasting himself, which I can completely I can argue both sides of this point ad nauseum to death. So I really, really want to know what y'all think about it, what y'all might have to say about it. So I'm not going to keep you forever. This is the question at hand, people. Social networking sites and romance. To publicize or not to publicize? That is the question. So please help me out with this one, and I will be ever so grateful to you. And I promise you I will keep y'all updated. And I'll probably do a more in-depth interview, Jesus. Oh, P.S. I will link y'all below to an interview that I did. It's a ballroom-related interview, but y'all might be interested in seeing your girl. It was put together by Boston Ballroom Talk, or BBT, a new channel on YouTube highlighting some of Boston's ballroom patrons. So be sure to check that out. Link will be below, and I will talk to y'all very, very, very soon. And, the extended story on Mr. Javier will come. I promise you that. One love.